The encrypted number that revealed my wife's double life and her role in a human trafficking ring. My wife, Sophia, was a minimalist. She hated clutter, unnecessary objects, and especially excessive technology. Her sleek, expensive smartphone was the only gadget she tolerated. Yet, while cleaning the pockets of an old trench coat she rarely wore, I found a small, cheap burner phone, the kind that looked like it was from 2005. It was dead, wrapped inside a plastic baggie, and had clearly been hidden there for months. When I charged it, the phone sprang to life. It had no text messages, no call history, and no stored apps. The only thing programmed into the memory was a single contact, cryptically labeled Rostov. I recognized the name. Rostov was a notorious figure in the news, an international criminal investigated for money laundering and, most recently, human trafficking. The realization hit me like a physical blow. Sophia, my elegant, philanthropic wife who ran a non-profit for children's education, was communicating with a high-level trafficker. I had to know the content of the communication. I noticed the phone's encryption settings were unusually complex. I took it to a specialist, a former IT security expert I knew. After 2 days, he managed to break the security protocol. He found no calls or texts, confirming the phone was used solely for encrypted data transfer. The single contact, Rostov, was a key, not a number, used to initiate secure file exchanges through public Wi-Fi networks. The decryption revealed a chilling sequence of files, manifests, delivery schedules, and high-resolution photos of young women and children, often labeled with coordinates and estimated prices. The non-profit wasn't a cover for money laundering, it was a pipeline for trafficking. Sophia wasn't just in contact with Rostov, she was a major logistical coordinator in his network, using her legitimate travel and access to schools/orphanages as perfect cover. I waited for her return from a fundraising trip. When she walked in, I placed the burner phone on the marble countertop. "Who is Rostov, Sophia? And what is routine Delta 9? She didn't deny it. She looked at the phone and sank into a chair, overwhelmed. She confessed that Rostov was a necessary evil. Her non-profit, she claimed, had been extorted by the organization, forcing her to comply with their requests to transport documents and money across borders, threatening to expose and destroy her legitimate work if she refused. The trafficking logistics, she insisted, were merely documents she was forced to encrypt and pass on, hoping to find a way out soon. She swore she was a victim, trapped in a desperate attempt to protect the children she truly helped. I almost believed her. She sounded utterly miserable, a picture of forced compliance. As she reached across the table to touch my hand, her eyes darted slightly to the left. The nervous tick. The tick wasn't guilt or fear of Rostov. The nervous tick was satisfaction. The true revelation was that Sophia was not a victim forced into compliance. She was the leader of the entire trafficking network, and Rostov was her subordinate. Her non-profit was her ingenious creation, designed from the start to identify vulnerable targets and provide her with unchallenged access and international mobility. The burner phone's single Rostov contact wasn't a connection to a criminal, it was a tracking mechanism she used to monitor her own assets. The nervous tick showed her fear wasn't being exposed, but that I might have compromised the encryption key needed for a critical transaction scheduled for later that night, a transaction that would confirm her total dominance over the global ring.